skirt washers. Done a really good job on it. Just to any loose flakes of blacking. Just scrape around everything, but what I'm going to do now is these rusty spots here, I'm going to sand them down to bare metal. So I shall be grinding next, especially on the rubbing streaks there, which take front of boat, which takes most of the hammer. There's some scores, but not that deep, but not to be unexpected. And hopefully tomorrow, when weather's a bit better, she'll be able to get some paint on it.
You can see Dave's grinding slowly, and apparently what that's doing is that's putting some sort of beveling on the metal. How's it going, Dave? So these are all of the rust spots that he's grinded off. Not sure how I feel about it going back to metal. Dear Liza. Dear Liza. Dear Liza.
I'm just wiping the boat down, getting all the dust off from what I've created, sanding the rusty bits down, so when we come to paint it, there's no dust that will stop the paint sticking to the hull. So it's just a precaution. Just from above what Will said, that it creates dust, but I wanted to get it back to bare metal in
about? I mean, I'm concerned that you've got it back to bare metal.
It's been in water over 10 years, and for the amount of travelling that we do, I think it's in exceptional condition. What are your feelings on it? You haven't really mentioned.
Well, it looks better than others, but you think it's newer than others, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So therefore the hull would be better. So it's not to say that when ours gets to 15, 20 years old, it's not going to be rippled. Especially with you putting big weldy bits in, going back to the bare metal. We're going to end up with that doubling effect.
But you can't paint over rust on it because it'll just bubble up from underneath the paint that you put on, and the paint will come off. So it's a way, unless you take the rust out.
So what are your thoughts of the rust contaminant-y thingy? What's it?
I told you it didn't.
So, but don't you think people will argue that it does work on boats?
That's personal choice, isn't it? The people who like the boats don't necessarily put a true paint primer on it, and I think the money we spent when we had the boat put in the water, having it professionally painted, and the primer, which you can see here, is worth money well spent. And
But you've just took that off, Dave.
yes, because the way bits of rust underneath it, where it's been scratched and scraped, it's got underneath the primer.
So we're not going to have that benefit now, that's what I'm saying.
But unless you have it shot blasted and took back to bare metal and then primed again, you're never going to have that. But if I'd have just painted over then, the rust is still there, so it'd have come through the paint, so it's a waste of time painting it.
So how much is it? Has anybody ever blooming gone back to primer?
I have no idea. I'm sure somebody with a lot of money has took it out and gone back to had it shot blasted and re-primed. I don't know whether people actually prime under blacking. I don't know. At that point, I'd never done a boat before, so I was just going on the painter's recommendation that he sprayed the whole hull with the primer, and I think it's worth what he said he pour out.
So how much was that painting back then?
I can't remember offhand, but that.
The company's still in existence?
Yeah.
What are they called?
ENC. They took over Proform Sheet Metal's building. Looking at the state of the hull when we got it out, when it pulled out this morning, it didn't need blacking. It had gone another couple of years, I think, without any problem whatsoever. I think just I'm a bit over the top, that I'm sanding bits off. Some people would just painted over the top of it, but I wanted to take it back to bare metal, and other people have different ideas. But you look at that's where I painted it in Lock earlier this year, and you can't visibly see where the water line is, because I left a 2-inch gap into above water. That's where I could get down to. But you can't really see that paint on there's superb.
And what paint are you using?
Like bitumen. But I know the base of the boat were sound, and it still is. So here we are at West Oxford with a bucket.
With a hole in.
With a hole in. Delilah.
I think it's... I don't know that.
Okay. Just had the boat pulled out on the trolley, as you can see.
We're sitting a little bit forward and to the left, and generally we sit backwards to the right. That's just because of the weight being on the right hand side, engine, etc. So it's really unusual living the opposite way, diagonally.
What's Harry Potter got to do with this? Anyway, so the hull was jet washed, revealed a few little spots, and
it was jet washed within an hour though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really quick and it was good, and he went back over it and reviewed what he'd done.
So really happy with the guys here that's done that. Really helpful, really friendly.
Wait a minute, I might have a, hold that, I might have a business card. Hold that.
Shouldn't you have prepared this earlier?
Yeah. Oh.
You haven't got a business card,
I have. I asked for one, I gave one to a friend, and
You've lost the other.
I might not have lost it.
Yeah, put it somewhere safe.
Probably with the keys.
Yeah, okay. So I've just sanded the rust spots off the hull, not many, sort of places. And now I'm just cleaning the boat down with just water just to get the dust off, so when we do paint the painting won't stick to the dust that I've created sanding the rust off.
It's really windy here. We are right next to the train, and obviously we're on the trailer, so we're higher up, so it's even windier. So whilst we're not on water rocking, we're windy wobbling.
Windy wobbly. Is that really a saying?
It's professional. So.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, and now you're
Probably,
gonna
I don't understand it.
Dave's gonna dab where he's took it back to bare metal. Hopefully it won't rain. It's been doing it on and off today, but probably the mere mention of the word paintbrush.
Yeah.
Hails.
Evans will open and at least wet to my knickers.
Don't wear knickers.
Which is another Yorkshire saying.
No, you wear boxers.
Okay.
Why would you indicate that you wear knickers?
It's a saying.
I'm sure it's not a saying. Why do you keep coming up with all these weird things?
I'm not weird. I'm just from
I'm
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Right, now I've insulted all Yorkshire people.
Yeah.
That's it. I love you, Yorkshire.
Yeah. Bye.
How are we going?
Gotta get on.
Gotta get on.
Bye.
Bye.